Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Low Tech course. This is week 2. This is the week where we're going to restructure. We're going to create a simple system that allows us to put the 30 apps that you chose in week 1 and actually put them into where do they belong, which day of the week. So the idea here is to create something visually appealing to you. So there is an accompanying PDF with a little grid of your week. And I highly recommend that you use colored pencils for this activity so that you get to decide what goes where. So last week, what you did is you went from 180, whatever amount of apps you had on all of your digital devices, and you reduced them to a core 30 or something that is more manageable for you. Whatever that number is, it's okay. If it's less than 30, perfect. If it's more than 30, it's not the ideal. But again, this is your low tech life. And I hope that all of these apps that you selected actually bring you tons of value. So the activity for this week is to create a plan. So if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And the goal is to set organization and intention. Those are the two core principles to create a good system. I want you to look at your week, whatever you have happening this upcoming week, and to decide which apps, which devices you're going to bring with you during the week. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our colored pencils and we're going to color. So if you have, for example, work, maybe you put the color red. And if you want leisure time, you plan for that leisure time and you color it in a different color. The goal is to see where you're spending most of your time in any given week, but to set it up with intentional use. We all have devices. We all default to those devices when we're bored, and that's not the best use and the best intention in our lives. So when you get home, if you go to the TV without thinking, that's not a great thing. It's best to actually use that device, the television, if you want to watch a show, but you plan to watch that show. It's not something that just comes to you just because you're bored or because you are uncomfortable with that dead time. So we're going to plan for that dead time. I'm going to give you 4 categories that I personally plan for, but you can plan for more categories or less categories depending on the complexity in your life. The first one that I plan for is my physical needs. I make sure to get enough sleep, quality sleep. So I make sure to say no devices in the bedroom. And this is reflected in my timesheet. Essentially at the top, I don't have any apps or devices in these areas because they're not useful to me. I want to go to sleep and I want to make sure that I'm taking care of my physical need in that sense. I also allow for cooking time and I allow for exercise. So I make sure at the beginning of my week to intentionally say, I'm going to go work out and put it in my calendar. I use both a physical and a digital calendar because I like the reminders features that I have on my light phone too. But if you only want a physical calendar, that's great. And if you only want a digital calendar, that's fine as well. What we want to make sure is that we're allotting time for the things that actually bring meaning to our lives instead of just going with the default with whatever your phone shows you. So physical needs is the first bucket and the first category that I like to promote. The second one is work. Meaningful work is important. Right now, I'm speaking to you because I plan to do this. It's a Friday and I just decided, hey, I'm going to do this activity and I'm going to make sure that I record this video and I'm going to take time to do it. I also have my work, my regular work, and I plan for that. I make sure to schedule it and communicate with people. I'm going to be there. We're going to do this activity. I work with nonprofits, so my schedule can be fluctuating, but I make sure to be organized and set it in advance as much as possible. If you work a 9 to 5, or if you work in a different position, make sure that you communicate and that you say, these are the apps, these are the services, these are the devices that are going to come with me when I go into work. The next category is leisure. Leisure is extremely important and we need to plan for it. We need to plan to wind down. We need to plan to maybe have a meditative session or something that actually brings meaning, value, and makes us better people. Maybe it's reading a book or going to watch a movie. Whatever it is, make sure that you plan for it and you color it in the grid that I have provided for you in the accompanying PDF. This is helpful because creating a system actually gives you intention and organization, which are 2 great tools to combat mindless phone use or mindless entertainment, mindless checking of your email. The final category that I want you to plan for is dead time. Now, there are other categories that may make sense in your life if you have kids or if you have, something completely different. But here's the reality. If you plan for your dead time and you know what's going to happen when you're driving, when you're at the doctor, then that is going to be not only more productive in your life, but actually you're going to feel better about it. So let's say that you're in traffic and you say, I'm going to plan to listen to an audiobook, or I'm going to plan to have silence in my life, to have that moment of reflection, to think about how my day is going. But you plan for it. You have a system, you have an organization. Now, you don't have to plan your day minute by minute, second by second. You just need to have a general idea of what's happening. That's what I do each and every day. I have some cards that I use in order to, have a to-do list for each and every day. And I make sure to review it. I look at my calendar, I write it down, and then I move forward with my task list for the day. If it's a light day, I enjoy my leisure. I plan for it. I know what to do with it. If it's a busy day, I make sure to be focused and to not be distracted so I can accomplish the things that I need to do. I hope that this simple system, just an idea, the idea is to restructure your week, not each and every minute, but just your week in general, and to see this week, I'm going to be a little bit more busy. This week, I'm going to be maybe having more time for leisure and to chat with friends, to have a phone call. But I'm going to plan to be intentional with my devices and apps. In the accompanying PDF, I have also included different devices that may be able to help you in your journey. So now that we have less apps, now that we have an intention to use these apps in different categories of our days and throughout our week, now we can plan to say, well, during the week, I'm going to use my smartphone, but during the weekend, I'm going to use a basic phone. Or during the week, I'm going to have access to email on my computer. During the weekend, I'm going to let go and spend time with family. The more intention you put into your time, the better your results will be. I hope this overarching principle helped you. And next week, we're going to see a few more principles that will help us create a low-tech life. Again, thank you for watching. And if you found it helpful and you think somebody can find it helpful, make sure to share this video with a friend. See you next time.